What's the good word, Josh? Your boy DKB here. So we got an interesting report earlier today that I just got a chance to check out via the Athletics' Diana Rossini via another podcast. And it's just interesting at this point that it seems like every bit of, breaking news, if you want to call it that, that has come out this offseason surrounding the New York Jets have come via Rossini. And it almost feels like she's out to get some of the higher ranking members in this New York Jets organization. But nonetheless, diving into what she had to report, two pieces, two vital pieces to me, anyways. One being that the New York Jets almost landed new Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, former Falcons head coach, as our de facto play caller. And, this was a rumor that we heard Robert Saleh try to dispel earlier in the offseason, saying that they were just putting fillers out there in general to try to, boost the offensive coaching staff. Wasn't necessarily anything specific to offensive coordinator, et cetera, right? Tried to reinstate their love for Nathaniel Hackett. This is another direct refute to that. The second piece is that she mentioned Aaron Rodgers approved, I guess, the conversation being had for potentially bringing in Arthur Smith before ultimately, I'm assuming he declined and ended up choosing the Steelers OC gig, which makes a ton of sense, right? For us in our situation, it's a very odd role that anybody was going to be stepping into, right? You have a coaching staff that may be on the outs, so there's not strong job security, for one. Two, you aren't truly the offensive coordinator in all capacities. So if this truly was just a play calling thing, how in depth are you going to be when it comes to roster decisions, all of these other concerns? And then three, Aaron Rodgers has been a huge proponent of Nathaniel Hackett as well, and we've seen this sentiment continue to rise where, Aaron Nathaniel Hackett's calling plays and Aaron Rodgers is essentially changing it, 99% of the time when he gets to the line of scrimmage. Think back to all of the various headshots we got during last season when Aaron Rodgers popped into games with the headset, and we're seeing him shaking his head after calls are played, et cetera, right? So it's already a bad look from that atmosphere. But this could have been a huge move for the New York Jets. When I think about Arthur Smith, offensive minded, run oriented coach, and for a team that really does want to go in there and essentially play that old school, run, ground and pound, control the clock type atmosphere, play action, big plays, et cetera, this would have been almost a perfect compliment, right? You think about his recent resume, top 10 rushing team in 2023. Yes, he did have three consecutive 7-10 seasons as a head coach, but I go back to the conversation I've had before about guys that may be better in specified roles, right? Not everybody's a great head coach, but can still remain a great, elite OC in their own rights. And he did do pretty well during his stint with the Titans, having some successful 9+ win seasons as their OC, which landed him the Falcons gig. But still, just the continued success in the rushing department, right? Ranked third in rushing yards over EPA, top 10 in third down conversions in 2022. 13th in 2023, helped the Falcons become only the fourth team in history with 1,000-yard rusher and an 800+ yard pass catcher in NFL history. And he has an extensive background working with tight ends. So when I think about the crucial development of Jeremy Ruckert in this offense, when I think about potentially being able to manifest some tangible improvements from a guy like Zach Kuntz on the background, or even Kenny Yeboah, who's performed majorly above expectations, in my opinion, as a former undrafted free agent, it makes a ton of sense. But what she had to say specifically, let me pull it back up here. Nathaniel Hackett is entering his second season as the New York Jets offensive coordinator, but the team had some conversations this offseason about a new about a new approach for offensive play calling, and Aaron Rodgers was made aware. So maybe he didn't specifically give the sign off that he agreed with it, but I imagine this would have been a headlining news report if he did think strongly otherwise. And then it goes on to say Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith was one of those coaches the Jets talked to about possibly being part of the play calling process. And then this was reported on the Scoop City podcast, which is the Athletics' new podcast. So very interesting conversation and kind of see how this could have played out this offseason. But let me know what you guys think. Arthur Smith, is it a huge miss as an opportunity for this New York Jets franchise? Or did we, dodge a bullet here? I know plenty of Falcons fans weren't impressed by the play calling and how the team had performed, giving some of the reinforcements they have when you take a look at their roster. But let me know. I'll catch you guys again. Peace.